Not exactly pro
know.
streamers or anything. Yeah. I'm Donovan, and Robert.
Hello, I am Robert.
There we go.
Donovan is not both Donovan and Robert.
Yes, there's a distinction.
Multiple personality Donovan.
And we're Mega Hammer. We are the guys who make the noises on the internet. And today we're going to be streaming Dragonsphere with a bit of score study and discussion to boot. So hopefully everyone finds that entertaining and enlightening. And we got 5 people here, so I don't know. Should we drop the hammer yet, or wait a minute?
It's more than 0. Well, you keep doing the thing. Keep everyone occupied. I'm going to make my tea, and then I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, so let me take the camera off my face for a second here and show you what we're going to be looking at. In your top right, you should see a lovely score where we will be doing kind of a deeper dive into a certain selection of themes from the game. Not everything was covered totally in depth, but some key themes and some important things I thought to look at a little more closely have been hastily notated and hopefully somewhat accurately and legibly. But yeah, this will kind of allow us to look under the hood. So I spent a couple hours over the last few weeks transcribing, mostly just by ear, sometimes with a bit of help from the MIDI export, to capture as close as I could in that short amount of time various sections of music. This goes as a bit of a disclaimer, but also more of like a philosophy of mine that when I'm transcribing, there are certain times when I'm trying to do it exactly as written. There are other times where I'm trying to transcribe the essence of the piece, transcribe the mood or the style, and I don't get hung up on the micro details, the technical things as much. This is a bit of both categories. So I took care to carefully transcribe things as accurately as possible, but in situations where there was some rhythmic ambiguity, where there may have been tempo changes that could have been misinterpreted as rhythmic changes, I didn't stress on the details that much, but certainly captured enough to give you a fairly thorough explanation of what's going on in the game musically. So we'll wait till Rob's back at his keyboard.
Returned.
Oh, he's back. Okay, let me just get a quick little update here on who's all in the chat. Let's see. We got 4 or 5 people, 6 people maybe hanging out. I think it's time to...
Let's rock.
To do it. All right. So I'll be hiding my face most of the time, but every now and then I'll give you a wave. In the bottom right corner, we've got Munt, which is purely a visual right now. Munt is the MT32 emulator. However...
It sounded like a boxing match.
In the bottom corner, we've got Munt weighing in at 3 megabytes.
Oh my god!
But just to show that we're serious, here we have my Roland MT32, which
the MT32 cam.
There you go. We got an MT32 cam. If I ever feel like demonstrating something on guitar, which is my primary instrument, I may point that at my guitar as well. And then at the bottom, we've got a keyboard, which is hooked up to Munt, and which I can use for demonstrating MT32 type sounds. So for those who aren't as familiar with what I mean when I say Munt and MT32, the MT32 is by the standard retro PC peripheral. It's basically a synthesizer. Was not originally intended for the PC market, but was adopted by companies like Sierra as basically a very expensive, elaborate sound card. So the MT32 uses what's called LA synthesis, if I'm not mistaken, which is linear arithmetic synthesis. It's a combination of sample synthesis and FM synthesis to produce all sorts of wonderful tones like this. I believe we got bottle blow tone right now.
It's so beautiful.
It is. It's a wonderful sound. So yeah, enough of that. Yeah, there it is in all its glory right there. I was so lucky to come across one. You usually pay through the nose, but I found a guy who was happy to see it go to a good home. So here it is. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let me let you hear the title music on the MT32 itself. Yeah, let's see if we can give you a bit more volume here. Excellent. How's that sounding over there? Can everyone hear the game soundtrack all right? Okay, well, sounds great, we're told, so without further ado, we'll take that.
It's probably better for them than it is for me, because I'm over the Discord thing, but
right.
It's probably great through Twitch.
Yeah, so let's get into it. I want to play some and get you guys into the game. This is a bit of a let's play too, and then we'll start to talk shop about music, but for now, let's just play the game and enjoy. So, start with the glorious intro. So this was developed by MicroProse Labs, a division of the MicroProse design group, using their own proprietary adventure game engine. I believe only 2 games were made on it. Title music by Don Barto. It's the only piece of music he's done in the game. But I'll stop interrupting. So our 3 heroes, the king, the prince, and the court wizard are here to thwart the evil sorcerer Sanwei or Sanwei, depending on who's saying it in the game. He's more powerful than they can really deal with, so the best they can do is try slow him down. And we just saw the name of the composer flash on the screen there, Michael Bross, fantastically talented composer. Oh, the animation is lovely, yeah. Rotoscoping was used for all of the character movement, and I believe the backgrounds were hand-painted. It's just, visually, it's such a great game, just stunning. Enema Bag Jones. I know who that is. Welcome. Enema Bag Jones is the reason I know about this game at all.
Who is this?
That's Russell.
Is this... Oh, that's who I had a feeling. Hello, Russell. It's been a minute.
Yeah, they're riding on some sort of like cross between a camel and a dragon type thing.
It's a giant eel hound.
What a great representation of the fight between the court wizard and the sorcerer. This theme, remember this theme, it's central. I see you've learned much, old wizard. But your foolish spell cannot withstand the forces that bring my tower. Sonway is a badass wizard, that's for sure.
What a boss.
And here we have the plot set up. So in 20 years' time, the Sorcerer Sonway will come back. He lies, he says. The Sorcerer Sonway will come back and seek his vengeance on the prince. And here we go 20 years later. The king is dead. A convenient 20 years after the curse. Hey, Julian. Yeah, those clarinet runs are just fantastic. And here's some ear-splitting clapping. Prepare yourself.
Oh god.
Not too bad.
You hear a little bit of that nice digital noise.
Mm-hmm. Coronation is hard work. Time to turn it in. Quite ominous. All right, and here we are back at the title screen. I'm going to let this play for just a minute because this may be the first point where we can talk about some of what's going on with the music. Please let me know in the chat if you would like the music to turn down a little bit while I'm speaking or vice versa. Anyway, I'll let you listen to this theme and let your ear grab it for a second. Hey Aaron, how's it going?
Hey, it's Mr. Bartel.
All right. So let's just pause it there for a second and talk about the music here. So not to get too technical right off the bat, but our composer here, I guess this might have been Don Barto, but I'm going to speak as if MicroProse composed everything in this game because he certainly incorporated this title theme many, many times throughout the game. So he had a clear understanding of what he was doing, and I'm sure he wrote with it in mind, or perhaps it was written after. Either way, MicroProse is, in this game, a master of using modes. And for those who aren't familiar with musical terminology like that, you can think of a mode as a scale. So we know the major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You can think of a mode as an alternate scale, or so to speak. It's not major, meaning bright, positive sounding. Generally, we think of major as sort of happy. And it's not minor either, which is the following, which we hear as usually dark, mysterious, somber. A mode is derived from one of these scales, but it's its own thing. It can often have sort of an exotic sort of sound to it and flavor. But what the composer's doing in this game is taking those modes and using them in sort of unconventional ways, disguising them a little bit so that you don't hear something that comes off as stereotypically Spanish, like. You instead get them tweaked in a way, and he's very masterful at disguising them. This particular piece is in a mode called Phrygian, and you can see it up there, F Phrygian. I've got it written out here. He's able to sort of twist it in a way where it's doing this cyclical running around sort of thing. And then back again to the top. And so on. And it keeps sort of chasing its tail going round and round. To my ear anyway, that's not a cliche sort of Spanish thing, even though Phrygian is often abused for sort of that purpose, is to elicit that sort of sound. But keep this theme in mind, if anything else, because you'll hear the sort of over-under pattern again and again throughout the game in different ways. But I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get too heady to right off the bat. Let's actually play the game a little bit more, but I'm just trying to train your ear for specific things. All right, let's actually start here. So we're going to start with, let's do challenging. We can handle it.
The Dragonsphere stirs, my lord, and more powerfully than before.
Voice acting, not this game's strongest suit, but we will
What are you talking about?
We'll
It's
let
great.
it slip. Cosmic Void's asking what's the difference between novice and challenging. The puzzles are not changed all that much. The dialogue is, I think, simpler. There are fewer dialogue choices, and in this game, everything counts for points. And in the challenging mode, you have to more carefully navigate your dialogue in order to get what you want from the other characters. Under novice, those options are eliminated largely. That's the biggest difference that I know of. Okay, so we can be a lazy SOB or we can get to it.
Very well. Await me in the council chamber.
As you wish, my lord. Your mother and I await your pleasure.
There aren't any dead ends that I know of. I don't think there's any dead men walking in this game, but basically I just think you miss out on little goodies here and there if you go with novice, and you have sort of less of a rich dialogue to choose from.
It's all about the lore.
It is. This game is chock full of it. Before you do anything in the morning, you always need a good wash. Someone forgot to leave you a towel, so somebody's getting fired later. Please let me know if I'm going too fast on anything, and I'll let you read more of the dialogue, because it is rich. And I love this little chestnut. Your teacher of etiquette always said, do nothing in the clothes in which you sleep except sleep, despite a few exceptions. Eyebrows, eyebrows. You discovered as you grew older. Found it to be pretty sound advice. All right. Just a note on the art here. Just this flickering shadow here is just beautiful. So the sexy Roland module, Aaron, is the Roland MT32, which is providing us with all of the music and some of the sound effects for this game. It was sort of like a prosumer, not quite professional level synthesizer from the late 80s, which sort of got co-opted as a sound card for computers in the late 80s, early 90s. All right, we'll take a look through this book. Of course, it's an adventure game, so you can't look at the book, you must open the book. Let's open. Yeah, there aren't dead ends. I don't think so. It's quite well designed, but yeah, if you die, you are put back to just a predetermined save point, usually right before your death. So you can restore from earlier. Yeah.
Can you actively save in this game, or is it all just automatic save points?
No, you can actively save.
Okay.
All right, let's find our pace here. I'm trying to balance the let's play with the banter and everything else. All right, so these poems here, if anyone's in for the long haul, will eventually need to know a little something about these poems. But just a little Shakespeare. Will you ever see your queenie again? Okay, speaking of which, the king is a prudish man, and this is his chamber, and the adjoining door goes to his wife's chamber.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Let's take a look at this bookshelf and see what we got. Diaries, eh? Let's open. While you're reading here, take in some of the castle theme here too, because that's the next piece we're going to talk about. Your desperate curiosity finally overcomes your natural respect for other people's property. Leafing through quickly, you find that the first book is from 20 years ago, when the sorcerer was first challenged. That was in our intro video. The other is very recent. A message in the first book catches your eye. It says, "My husband-to-be, the prince, has ridden off with his father and Nurtom the wizard. They are going to face the sorcerer Sanwei to try to imprison or destroy him." Well, we only really sort of imprisoned. Forever. Didn't quite happen. I fear for the prince, will I be a widow before I'm even married? Oh, she was maybe 13, you were 13, so. Second book, 20 years later, and the sorcerer's curse is nigh. My husband, now the king, is in mortal danger. Nurtom cannot defeat Sanwei, there's no other to help, but we cannot just sit and wait for the sorcerer to strike. I feel so helpless. For Fiona's sake, you must defeat the sorcerer. You must. Alright, quick little music break here. So, let's switch over. How you enjoying this so far, Robert?
I'm digging it. I'm looking forward to getting out of this here castle and doing some romping around the countryside.
Oh, we will. All right, so let's pause that for a second and switch on over to our music. So, that's sort of our castle theme here. There's a few iterations of it. And that sort of thing. If we just take this sort of at face value, we're in D minor. The saddest of keys, according to Nigel of Spinal Tap. And let's go to it here in our little score view. So here we are, castle theme, D minor. And then we repeat the theme. Da, 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 do, 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 do. Develop the theme a little bit. All right. And in a nutshell, that's our theme. Throughout the game, one of the things that impressed me the most is that, like I said before, cliches aren't leaned on too hard. This is maybe one exception where, to me, this sounds very high fantasy, medieval, castle-y sort of thing. You know? Very much so. But there's something of interest going on here. I don't think this is the most interesting piece, but it's setting up a lot of thematic material we'll hear later. Not only in the main melody here, but also in the counterpoint, which is what's happening here in the lower staff, the left hand of the piano. Even if it's just simple intervals like that. All right, so like I said, we sort of play through it once. We've got a response, kind of a call and response sort of thing. Right hand or the higher instrument. Do-do-do, da-da-da-da-da-dum. Left hand, do-do-do, a simple response. Play it again. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. This time a more involved response. Boom, do-do-do. And we split into two distinct voices here. Then we develop the theme further. We've gone from minor to the more mysterious sounding harmonic minor. So these are very similarly very similar sounding, I guess, tonal centers. But if you notice the difference between the first way we played, this is our plain Jane minor. Here's the second way. And there's our harmonic minor, and that happens here with this little C sharp. So it just spices it up a little bit. It helps push the idea a bit further, repeat some of the sameness of before, and it heightens the tension also. So we've got a bit of a story being told here where we've got this sort of complacent thing going on in the melody, and as we progress, we hear it a second time, gets more involved, and then the tension is heightened even further as we develop the piece. More involved left-hand part or lower instrument part, we start to have counterpoint now. So when we have sort of two melodies weaving into each other and playing sort of on top of each other and around each other. All right. Okay. Hello, Deavor. Good to see you. Glad you can join us. So we're just stopping and taking a look at the castle theme of Dragonsphere here. We've got this counterpoint. Basically, the story is start simple, crank up the tension as we go through, and then sort of resolve it towards the end here. Not my favorite piece from the game, but I think it does its job quite well. Any thoughts on that one, Robert?
I think you got it. You nailed it.
Okay. Let's waste no more time. All right. Looks like the coronation was quite the party. For the sake of time, unfortunately, I won't be reading every single box that comes up in every description, but I'll help us speed through a little bit. Let's look at the dining table. Table still has a bowl of apples on it, but they look to be about a week old. They're starting to wrinkle. Your personal goblet was left there. Well, that sounds like something we should take. And with a bit of pixel hunting, there we
These
go.
apples are perfect for a pie. Don't waste them.
That's true. Good save. All right, let's talk to the scullery mage. He's working hard.
Not quite cleaned up yet, are we?
Prick.
Good morning, my lord. I trust you slept well.
All right, and she has some nice other things to say, but nothing of consequence. There's a bone on the floor that we could find through a bit of exploration. Let's pick it up. The king's a man of the people. He doesn't mind eating floor meat. So let's go on. Julian, what are you on about? You say Jane-olean. Linoleum?
Sorry, brother. I was just thinking, and this was a convenient place to sit.
Ah, hello. Musically inspired. Brandon is here. Hello, hello. Okay, and who else do we have here? We've got somebody new. Sorry, my cursor's
Got all
stuck in
kinds
the
of
game.
people.
Sweet. Hi, guys.
The chat's filling up.
All right. Again, take the high road. I think taking the high road would be telling the king's brother not to fart
When
in his
I
chair.
am dead, you may sit there, not before.
Cal grant that never happen, Kalish.
Ah, the cheddar man is here.
Yes, welcome, Cheddarman.
Yes. Peace be with you, McMore.
And with you be peace.
All right. Excellent. Let's see where he disappeared to. Oh, a production note. The reverb on this castle theme is perfect. well, as perfect as the MT-32 can muster, which is perfect. But certainly makes me feel like I'm in a hallowed hall.
Mm-hmm.
Do people speedrun this game?
They should.
I'm doing it right now, Aaron.
Here's the plan, actually. Do a marathon where you speedrun like all of the best old box games.
I would be
Like-
more than happy to do that if you send me pizza.
King's Quest, the entire series in one shot. One marathon stream for charity.
Alright, so we took a look here. Father's collection of rare volumes. There's a 6-volume set, The Decadent Empire, which sounds kind of like Game of Thrones or something, maybe. Fictional history your father forbid you to read when you were young. Well, we're the king now, he's dead. Let's get in some decadence. No, don't take the bookshelf, you snarky game. Take the books. Ooh. You try to remove volume 1, but it appears to be stuck. 2? Whoa, the entire set leans forward and you hear a faint rumbling noise. It appears that somewhere in the east here, we have uncovered something. Any guesses, anybody? Let's pull this tapestry. Eureka! Somehow your brain was telling you that there was a secret door behind the tapestry, and it turns out it was true. Excellent. Well, time to open it, of course. And it's locked tighter than a drum. Well, unless our ring can open it. Let's see. Well, our verbs are invoke and polish, so I doubt that.
Polish that door.
Polish the ring. We could put ring on door. Does not seem to be an option. Okay, well, I don't want anyone else tampering with my secrets. This will take us back to the hallway, so let's carry on.
Write that down. We got to remember that door is there.
Oh, don't worry. I've played this game 100,000 times. All right, and let's take a look at this Dragonsphere, the namesake of the game.
Oh, wow, this turned up pretty early.
Yes. Let's take a closer look. The small sphere rests quietly on its stand, where Nertom placed it 20 years ago. It's a warning, an alarm of sorts, whose integrity mimics that of the shield spell holding him prisoner. Its occupant, a small dragon homunculus, mimics the state of the sorcerer himself. It is the cracks in the sphere and the stirring of the dragon that have warned you that Sonway is breaking free from his long captivity. Yeah, the game is not... there's no narrator, yeah. And, yeah, that it's not voiced by a narrator. I know what you mean there. Yeah, it's a cool conversational style. All right, so the more active our little dude is in here, the more active the sorcerer is. The more cracked the globe, the sphere, the weaker the spell that's holding him is. All right.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, it's a distant early warning system.
I wonder if in high school they all
You've
called
seen the
Nerd
Dragonsphere.
Tom.
I pray you're not still resolved to go alone.
I am.
Tirnoch Bronway is deadly, my lord. Why not wait safely here? Hide from the sorcerer, or at least meet him on your own ground.
If we wait, Sanhui will only become more powerful as he recovers from the spell of imprisonment. I must go to his tower before he wakes fully.
Will you not reconsider and take the army, my lord? I beg you.
Nay, even weakened, the sorcerer has powerful spells that could destroy an army once he knew they were coming. One man, traveling alone, is anonymous. This is my responsibility and the legacy of my father. I will face the sorcerer alone.
He is headstrong, like his father. Let us gift him and wish him Godspeed.
Thank you.
I have for you a sword of magical sharpness. May you use it to strike San Wei's head from his shoulder.
That is a massive sword, by the way.
Magical
Although it is
sharpness.
said that no sword may harm Sanwei, perhaps it will have other uses. And I have for you a small shielding spell, like the one that surrounds Sanwei's tower. Hurl this sphere at an enemy to imprison him within a field of magic.
These were my father's, were they not?
That's right. And they never failed him. May they never fail you. Goodbye, my son.
Good luck, husband. Please be careful.
Is it just me, or is this Queen Mother a little, villainesque?
Donovan, do you have an answer for Aaron's question? How did the reverbs work in 8-bit chip coding? I think it depended on the chip, but I'm not sure about that.
That is a good question. I'm not sure if 8-bit would be the best way to describe the MT32, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, Aaron? Hold on to that question if you can stick around for a while, and we may have a good explanation from a mystery caller later.
Yep.
All right,
I'll look into it too.
You lift the sword. Oh yeah, sorry, you may hear my Discord alerts, sorry. Feeling its
I'm going
comfort.
to spam Donovan now.
Yeah. Stop it, stop. I'm talking about the heft of the magical sword. All right. Excellent. We hide it. We're very thoughtful, King. We don't want to alarm the people. This is a very cool play on the sword and shield sort of trope. And here we go. A shield stone.
Now the sword has been mysteriously hidden inside your pant leg.
In the scabbard. It's in a scabbard.
I didn't see one.
It's concealed. It's supposed to be hidden from the view of the people. All right, so the shimmering gray sphere feels warm to the touch. I love the description of these spell stones. They play an important part. Let's see. We secreted in our traveler's pouch for quick access. All right. Yeah, the artwork in this game is fantastic. I love the little cutaway here. It's similar to like King's Quest 6 in the bookshop. Sort of we're seeing through a little peephole, and you get a little bit of this in the framing. All right. There's not much to look at here, but we're going to look at the grates here because it's a little something important. An underground river rushes by. Yeah, smooth animation, Brandon, you're right. So the grate serves as a privy and disposal. River carries things away. That means you can drink right after you do your business. Take a sip from the river, it'll all be long washed away. Okay, impossible for a prisoner to escape from the grates because of the river's flow. Ah, that high-pitched bell sound. Brandon, you can tell me, is that the water bell patch on the MT32? Could be. All right. I'm not sure if this is an enhancement or not, but I guess you can see my face for a while. Probably not an enhancement. All right.
Nice beard.
I've been working on it.
It's great.
I had it all shaved off because I have to wear a mask for work a lot, and I found it irritating. And then I got beard envy. My brother had a superior goatee, so I had to catch up. Yeah, it might be that water bell, but you're right. I know it's quite high-pitched. Oh, thanks. You like my rounded corner CRT. I put a lot of work into this stupid overlay, so I'm glad you noticed. All right, let's talk to some people here. Okay. It's very subtle, but in this courtyard theme, we'll hear some rhythmic and some intervallic devices that harken back to other things. So we heard dum ba do da dum, that kind of over under, very reminiscent of the
Big time.
yeah. So all this thematic weaving is excellent. Really well done. It's all over the game, and it serves to unite the, as you'll see very shortly, the different kingdoms within this game. They all have a very different feel, culture, lore, people to it. But through this thematic weaving, through the use of these little motifs, if you want to call it, not really motifs, but recurring themes, we really meld it all together. So one of the other reasons I think it's masterfully scored. Oh, we can't talk to the merchant's stall, but we can talk to the
Greetings, guardsmen.
guard.
What traveler's news is there?
The fairy is here as an ambassador. He's giddy and childish. The Soptus Ecliptus is here to trade. He speaks of their caliph as if he were as powerful as you, your majesty. The Slathan is roaming. He made some rude comments about my scar, so I have my eye on him. One false move, and...
Aye, guard.
Oh, the overlay caught your eye. That's excellent. Yeah, I spent way too long fumble bucking my way around GIMP creating this, so I'm really glad that it was worth it. Just a second here, and I'll sort of fill you in there. Let's see, gameplay options. Speech is on, sound is on, okay. There are portraits that I must have checked off somewhere, so that was foolish, but not to worry.
Interface is easy. I thought we were on hard mode.
Easy? Oh, the interface is easy.
What does that even mean?
Interface easy. Interface standard. Interface easy. Let's see what standard is. Has
All right.
anything changed? Good question.
I have no idea. Whatever.
Go back to you. Anyway, all right.
I'll leave it on easy.
So the guard was giving us the lowdown of who's in the courtyard today. We have a Slathan, which is the sort of ethnic term for the shape-changing race here. We have a fairy, who you can see here, and we have a Soptus Ecliptus. And the Soptus Ecliptus, we'll talk to them soon. We'll get to know all of these people.
So you're the king, eh? Listen, if you're traveling, you have to visit Slathan ni Patan.
All right. I'm not going to try to recall all of the very best dialogue options here, so we may make a few mistakes. Let's see.
Why do you crave this boon?
I want you to see the way your subjects are treated, feared, and hated by others, outcasts in our own land. Why do you let this go on?
I don't understand. Why does this happen?
Our shifting powers are shunned by the other races. They're afraid we'll take their very identities away from them. We're so misunderstood. If only you would come to Slathan and speak to our wise men, you wouldn't be so ignorant.
All right, so they're clearly disenfranchised race.
So you're a shapeshifter, eh?
Aye, that I am. And I apologize for being blunt. We shapeshifters can be defensive, given the way we're treated by the other races. Would it be so tough to visit our land?
Well, I don't think we should kick him when he's down.
If other matters allow, I will come to see your plight.
Ask about the Cave of Shifting Dreams. You'll learn much there. Everyone does.
All right. So a note about the voice acting, because the older I get and the more distant I get, I guess, from the initial nostalgia of playing this, the more I realize it's pretty bad. So as was par for the course with games back, I guess back in the 90s, maybe, who knows, but this is 94. Games would often come out first on floppy disk, which did not have the the storage capacity to allow for voices. And then once CD-ROM was a more viable format, then the games were often re-released as talkie versions containing speech. And this one in particular, I think, was done as an afterthought. The game was already out. The CD-ROM version comes out maybe a year or two later, and I don't think anyone had the budget to put in too much into the voiceovers. So if you ask me, these are guys from around the office. Like, this guy's an accountant. I don't know. She was maybe like a level designer or programmer, whatever, and they were just called into a booth and they did their best. So let's keep talking here. So we talked to the shape changer. He wants us to visit his land. Let's
Greetings, man of Soptus Ecliptus.
talk to him.
What is your name?
Just to
My name
acknowledge
is
the chat here. Oh,
Shaman,
sorry.
the Traveler. I come from desert far, a message to bring to thee. Our kingdoms too have enjoyed prosperity large. We are friends great, but never have you visited our Caliph.
Okay.
How can a man alone cross the desert?
There are friends of the Soptus living in the desert. With friends, any man can cross the desert great.
Why suggest this now? You have never before asked for such a visit.
Well said. Time is now, for our shamans have discovered portents large concerning you. Mysteries many our shamans can untangle. Caliph also desires visit.
All right.
Perhaps I could come later, after I have dealt with the sorcerer.
Pecadoli mecratum, epcali abrastum, as my people say. This means, if you don't prepare, then you will be late. Understand? Quest important you may have, but time is now to prepare with visit. I tell you extra secret little. Admiration lavish is Soptus' way. This impressed greatly, Caliph.
Could you tell me again, what was that phrase you used?
You mean pecadoli mecratum, epcali abrastum? It means, if you don't prepare, then you will be late. Farewell for now, King of the North.
All right. So,
You will be late.
hey, it's good advice. So the reason he repeats that is we will have to study the language a little bit to learn how to cross the desert safely. So, like I said, I disabled the portraits. I'm trying to remember why I did that, but the portraits would have had the text of the dialogue as well, which is a little handier for learning the language than trying to do it, just by listening to it. I think I did it so we could talk more about the artwork. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Anyway,
Yeah.
for next time I can enable them. Let's talk to the merchant.
Fine wares for my king's journey at a special price.
I'll take some fruit.
And water from the well for good measure. Goodbye, my lord.
I mean, when you have the option of getting fruit. Hardy winter fruits. Look very appetizing, don't they? They do. I love the item portraits as well. They're very lovely. Let's talk to him again. There was more to do.
Fine wares for my king's journey.
I have all I need, but let's chat for a bit.
At your service, Majesty.
Brandon, you remember?
Just how did you know I was going on a journey?
Rumors are everywhere. One is that you travel to face the dread sorcerer in the High Tower Mountains. Say, your Majesty, I hear tell of strange bird creatures that dwell in those mountains. Maybe you'll tell me if those rumors are truth when you return.
I thank you for your confidence. If only I shared it.
Pshaw, Majesty. Neglect not the little things, and the large shall take care of themselves, as my pappy used to say.
A wise man.
Aye, as you are. Good luck, my lord.
Yeah, Aaron, certainly there's pitching going on with this guy's voice. I wonder if that's a playback thing or if it was recorded, processed, and then put in like this. I don't know. I wouldn't call this guy a demon. He's a desert man. All right, let's talk to the fairy.
Lucky me. Come to look, and the king I see. Oops. Sorry, Majesty.
Desert demon.
Fairies speak in rhyme to annoy fair ones like you. It's a bad habit.
Okay, so fair ones does mean humans. Why do they seek to annoy? Here's the thing. We can play along with the games and keep asking questions. We can ignore them. Yeah, let's try to get to the bottom of this annoying fairy habit.
Why do you seek to annoy fair ones?
Because it's fun. Our wise men argue the question endlessly and have lots of theories. Testing our limits, learning fair one behavior, hidden hostility. I don't know. Perhaps you should ask our king.
There is a fairy king?
Yes, indeed. The great butterfly king, oldest living fairy, and great friend to the fair ones. Surely you must meet him, for he is a powerful magician. If the rumors of your quest are true, you owe it to yourself to see the butterfly king first.
So we're seeing a bit of a pattern here. The shapeshifter wants us to visit the Cave of Dreams to learn something. The Soptis Ecliptus Desert Man wants us to visit his Caliph, especially now. He says it's more important than ever. And the fairy is saying, visit the Butterfly King. So let's maybe ask more about
And
that.
where will I find the great butterfly king?
Seek the magic forest of Bryn Fan and get ready for the trial of the forest maze. If you can succeed at that, they will let you see our king.
Okay. The
Sorry, Lord.
forest
But
maze.
that is our law when dealing with fair ones.
The forest maze is the turnoff for a lot of people who try this game. It is tedious.
Fair ones? You mean humans, right?
Yes, you call yourself humans. I don't know why, but all fairies call humans fair ones.
All right.
So nice to have met you. I must go now.
Goodbye, King of the Fair. May your children be a blessing to you.
Oh, well, thank you. As far as I know, we don't have any, but... Okay, let's save right now. We'll save this one as... let's see. Death 1, because that's what we're about to do. You gotta enjoy these moments. Oh, that crunch at the end. But there is something to be learned about, from this. You can go down the well. Should you go down this way? I don't think so. Perhaps you'd like another chance. So here's the... There we go. All right, so here we are back. Nothing's been lost. Well, yes, music is on point down there. Can we hear that one more time? It's fantastic. It is a traumatizing crunch. It's truly
it's bumping.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Yes, that is Jungle Jam in the background. So, as Brandon is pointing out here, there is a patch on the MT32 that plays like this really weird loop. I don't know. It's called Jungle Tune or Jungle Jam.
Pull it up in Munt.
Yeah, I can do that. I will. Okay, so... And then we're talking about this menu music. Before I do that, just to keep people interested in the game here. So here we have a quick travel map. And you might have guessed that these are the 4 different kingdoms or realms we can visit. So here's the Kingdom of Grand Kalahak. So this is the castle, the throne, the desert, the Fairy Kingdom, the Shapeshifters, and here is the Sorcerer's Tower himself. Or I guess you can see my cursor, sorry. Desert, Fairies, Shapeshifters, and Sorcerer. Okay, we are going to jump over to a quick demonstration of the Jungle Tune song thing.
It's great.
That's it. That's what it does. I'm not sure what people thought when they heard that was one of their limited voices on this synthesizer. But somebody found a use for it somewhere, as testified in this game. All right, let's go back to something more useful. Ah, beautiful marimba. All right, back to the game. So, where shall we travel to first? I think we're going to go to Slaith and Neepatan, the shapeshifter realm. Where some of my absolute favorite music is in the game.
This is a protected land. What is your business?
All right. So, we are the king.
I am the king. Step aside and let me pass.
I beg pardon, Majesty. None may enter this land without escort. Even you. Especially you.
Well, then escort me. You've got this... I forget the name of it. Come on. The giant pointy-tipped axe. Someone will tell me. Looks really good for beheading and stabbing. Escort me.
Then escort me, at my command.
We cannot leave this post completely, and we cannot send just one of us. That would be inviting attack. And if a dirty shifter overcame one of us and took his likeness, the other would never know what had happened.
So there seems to be a fair amount of paranoia that on the part of the humans, the fair ones, that these shifters are going to basically be identity thieves and run amok. So let's play against that.
Why do you call them dirty shifters?
You know the tales, Majesty. If a lone person ventures into shifter land, the dirty shifters will kill him, take the likeness of the victim, and emerge pretending to be him. If we didn't patrol the borders night and day, they might murder us in our sleep. You'd never know if your wife or best friend was actually a shifter.
It's pretty low opinion of them, but it's pretty fascinating lore. All right.
I'll just look around then. Thank you.
Feel free. Slaith and Neepatan is a weird place. You can see some of the dirty shifters if you look through the woods.
They are my subjects and deserve respect.
Respect? Ha! They're filthy, creepy thieves and they should all be exterminated. Begging your pardon, but you know it's true.
It's quite genocidal. All right, we can't let that stand. We're not going to sulk away. Dirty shifters.
Despite your feelings, I must enter this land.
Not without you have a companion, my lord.
Okay, because I want to keep this a good balance of let's play and getting to the point, we can jump right here. So this may seem counterintuitive, but...
Is there anything I could give you to let me go in?
Anything you want to give us, we'll gladly take.
But this is the breakthrough moment. So we're going to give fruit. It's pretty useless. Give it to the guards.
Interesting. I'm shocked that you would try to offer us a bribe, Majesty.
Perhaps it's not the king. Perhaps it's a dirty shifter.
All right, we better not make a false move here because, or false step because they're suspicious. It wasn't a bribe. Retreat.
Oh, what was it then?
It was collateral. You keep the item and let me pass. When I come out, say nothing to me. If I ask for it back, you'll know it's me. For while a shifter can take my shape, he cannot take my mind. If I fail to ask for the item, run me through, for I am a shifter. Agreed?
Quite wise. Agreed.
Best ask for your possessions right off, sire. I'll not stay my hand long.
This is one of the most clever puzzles, I think, in the game. I love that. You don't try to bribe them, but you give them some collateral, and you can use it to prove your identity later. It's a really simple little one, but it's a great dialogue puzzle.
Yeah, that's clever.
Yeah, let's keep going down here. What do you think, Rob? Should we take a caller?
Sure, absolutely.
Let's see if anyone available here. Ooh. Before we move on here, let's see. Okay, let's take care of this monster in the pool. You know what? This is a good death. Maybe should save first. Oh, can't type today. Death 2. Alright. Let's just sneak on by here. What's the worst that could happen?
Very Lord of the Rings.
Ugh. Another terrible crunching sound. Oh, I should point out. This is a land worth looking around in. If you notice, we've got an eye tree. We've got a bone tree. We've got an ear rock. A mouth rock. Some shifter decided it'd be fun to be a tree for a while. But how could he forget to shift his bones like that?
Whoops.
The rock is trying to talk to you. Unfortunately, all that comes out of his mouth are inarticulate wah-wah noises. I love the idea of maybe some of these are shifting experiments gone wrong. Someone thought it might be a good idea and then unfortunately maybe died halfway or got stuck somehow. But here would be a good time to throw our shield stone at this monster.
Your stone.
Oof, lovely sound. All right. Let's take
Wait, 1 second. So can you cycle through your items or is it a stack?
It is a stack. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
And take a look.
Okay, no. It's fine. It makes sense.
Okay. And take a look at this tree here. It's a hand, and if we look carefully, get lucky, it'll twitch and writhe a little bit. There we go. Clench.
Spooky.
Ah, some of my favorite music coming up. The best way to describe so much of this music is tonally ambiguous, meaning it's hard to pin it down to one key. It shifts very often, and in the Shifterland, that makes perfect sense. By the way, check out the boulder here. So there is a great cataclysm. Something blasted something. Hang on, I'm gonna check my Discord here. All right, cool. So the Shifterland here, the sky, I think the artwork is something of note here. There is all sorts of brooding, ominous kind of work in the sky here. From what we saw earlier, you could see the sun peeking through a little bit at the perimeter of the Shifter Kingdom, but as we enter it, all of a sudden it's dark. It's like it's under a permanent cloud. Just fantastic. Let's talk to this wise old man.
You're the first normal-looking person I've met here.
Indeed. You are brave to have come this far.
All right. Should we take a caller now, or maybe go through this conversation first?
Finish off the conversation, then let's get someone in here.
Sweet. Okay.
I met a shifter who told me to visit here.
Did you? You look familiar. Do I know you?
I am King Kalish.
That explains much. I have a gift for thee, King, if only you will answer a question. Why do you and yours persecute us so?
Well, we should be diplomatic. Change must come slowly, but it will change.
Change must come slowly, but it will change.
Yes, this is as it has always been. Perhaps one day your words will be true, but you are the king, the agent of change. Ah well, here is the gift I have for you.
So I think that conversation could have gone better. Certainly we could have, I think, appealed to his to his wisdom a little more. That doesn't make sense. We could have sounded wiser in the presence of such a wise man. So here, another magical stone. Strange object the wise shifter hands you feels warm to your touch and hums with a power that's not quite magical. You can feel the trigger in your mind to release its power, but it's unlike any spellstone you've ever used.
What is it? Is it a power stone?
No, it is what we call a polystone, a bit of shifting for non-Slathan. You'll find that it can, at your command, mimic the look of any item you own. I'm not sure what it's good for, but perhaps you'll find a use for it on your quest. Before you leave our land, O King, you must discover what portents await you in the Cave of Shifting Dreams. Good luck.
In another stream, I would love to go back to where we saved and retry that conversation, because there's a lot more he could tell us. This is what I mean by the challenging setting. You need to choose your words carefully.
Ooh.
And I think it goes without saying that that music is intense. On that note, shall we take on a caller?
Yeah, let's get someone in here.
All right, Julian, if you're free, how should we do this? Do you want Julian to call you Rob?
Or...
I think that would work best.
Well, would he... I'm just trying to figure out how you would hear him.
Oh, good point.
Maybe we should just hop into the Mega Hammer Discord.
Sure. All right, you disconnect there and I'll hop in. Okay, bear with us a second. And I guess I need to jump in there now. Oh. Testing, can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Julian, feel free. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
All right.
Welcome to the stream. You're our first official guest.
I'm so honored. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. All right. Julian, mind if I give just a very quick introduction?
No, go for it.
Julian is a music man from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and he's been an excellent sort of liaison for Mega Hammer into the game community there, because he's been around and done plenty of game soundtracks and all sorts of cool stuff. So we're honored to have him.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mega Hammer.
Pardon?
Thanks, Mega Hammer.
Oh, I'm not sure who has to answer that.
Both of you in unison.
Very
simultaneously,
welcome.
In harmony.
You are welcome. Let's take a listen to this music again, Julian.
Yeah, the cave music is crazy. Yeah, the whole counterpoint thing is nuts.
It certainly is.
I was thinking that so much of the ambiguity with the tonality has to do with just like these drifting bass lines.
Yes.
And like these big drones with like big open chords happening on top. And you're just like, is it major? Is it minor? I don't even know.
Well, Chris was saying in the chat there, perfect fourths on a diminished triad is what he gathered from I think what's happening more or less right now, or the earlier part of it. And yeah, that would fit the bill, right? These big fourthsy voicings, no particular major or minor gender to them, just very open. Certainly lots of room for craziness to happen within those, right? Cool. Well, let's talk to our friend here a bit more.
This appeared in the cave after my vision. Can you tell me anything about it?
How wonderful. It is not often that the cave gives up things to carry away. I've seen things like it. We shifters sometimes use toys like that to help focus our powers. But I have no idea of its significance to you.
So we'll certainly look at our inventory.
I doubt there's any more I can do for you.
I would like to know about the other races.
Which other race would you like to know more about?
Oh yeah, and in the chat we got going talk about whole tone runs and diminished scales and stuff like, or diminished whole tone, whatever. And we'll touch on that later, because in the cave we heard a theme that's going to come up later, which is a half-whole diminished scale sort of thing. I'd be happy to demonstrate some of that. But let's learn a little bit more about the other races in the kingdom. So about the fairies, how about?
What do you know of fairies?
I know many things. I know that they are an old race, but most fairies are young. They act gay and flighty, but they are mostly very intelligent when with their own kind. I know that the older a fairy gets, the wiser and more esteemed he is. The oldest living fairy is the Butterfly King. Someday he will die, and then he will join the Elder One. Of the Elder Ones I know not, save that they are a fairy tale concerning what happens to a fairy when they die.
Excellent.
I would like to know about the other races.
Alright.
I just noticed the face in the rock.
Yeah.
Spooked me.
I know that they are a mysterious race whose ties to this world seem tenuous. Their shaman.
I love just that time. Does that one have an animation to it?
He does. Well, he like fades in and out.
Oh.
I know the words for sun, moon,
Bye-bye.
stars. These being the Shab, Fala, and Eclipse.
Wait, did I just see a... No, it couldn't be.
Which means one who seeks the sun, the moon, and stars. Words in their language can mean other things. Shab can also mean light, north, and death. Fala can also mean dark, south, and life. And Ecliptus can also mean navigation, west, and the universe. Strange, no?
So this is where any good adventure gamer would break out a pencil and paper and write down some bits of that language, because he just told us how in the language of the desert people, Soptis Ecliptus, you can have words with multiple meanings. For instance, I think he said north is also the same word as sun and life, and south is moon and death, or something to that effect. So when we're crossing the desert, it might be good to know if we're heading towards death or life. But
I would like to know
that's
about
for
the
later.
Other races.
What? If I can hop in about the
Yes,
music for a
please.
second, I'm just noticing that there's like a lot of fourths and fifths intervallically, which like steers away from any of like the defining features of any minor mode. Like if you think about the differences between a Phrygian versus Aeolian versus, I don't know, even Locrian, it's like one has like a flat 2 and one has a flat 6, but you only hear that if you play the notes. And if you just steer, if you just keep with all the fourths and fifths, then you're just like not defining anything.
Yeah.
And then you can just lean into one or the other when you want to create a change.
Absolutely.
That's cool here.
So to sort of explain that maybe a little further, I'll mute the game for a second. So what Julian's talking about then is, I guess, sort of committing yourself to one tonal center. In other words, really leaning into sounding minor. Oh, forgot I had marimba. Or really leaning into sounding major, or even a variant of minor like harmonic minor versus a natural minor. And if you avoid the sort of defining features of any one tonality or scale, then you are creating this open-ended space, this open sort of vehicle in the composition to then slip in flavors that define it as minor or major or whatever. So that's a very powerful compositional tool. Keep it open and ambiguous so that if you want to, on the turn of a dime, you can make it major, or you could make it minor, or further and further down, you can go into different layers of minor modes and major modes. But yeah, keep it open, and then you can change the flavor of it with just a key note that wasn't there before, so there was no perception of what was to come. It was sort of a blank slate. Is that sort of what you were getting at, Julian?
Yeah, bullseye. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that technique. I love being able to bend between different tonalities because you haven't committed to anything too heavily. Which
I feel that like leans in well with what you were saying earlier about it not feeling too much of it's a cliche, and that you can't really put your finger on one particular mode. It's because they're constantly dancing around it.
Yeah. And I guess it sounds bad to say you're not committing too heavily to one sort of thing. We don't mean committing to a theme or having like a strong melody. We mean committing to a particular mood or flavor that would sort of lock you in to the tonal possibilities of a piece of music. This is kind of a very free, open way where you can sort of swap out different flavors on the fly. So, and again, for the shifter land, how appropriate.
What do you know of the Birdmen?
I
Harvey
know
Birdman.
many things. I
Attorney
know
at law.
They are a legendary race, living in the high
Huge
places
IP for
of
this
the
game.
High Tower Mountains, where Sunway holds sway. I know that they are called Shack. I know that legends say that once upon a time the Shack could not fly. A god brought them a gift, and their children grew up with the power to fly. Over the generations, they came to look more and more like birds. I know not if they truly exist, but if you travel to Hightower, watch for signs. They are said to respond only to the calls of their own kind, however.
Excellent. Okay, so in the tower, the high tower region, which is the mountainous region where the sorcerer is, there lives a race of birdmen called the Shack.
I would like to know about the other races.
And that's our last option.
What can you tell me of my own race, the Fair?
I know many things. The great gift of the Fair is the gift of children, with which you are more blessed than any other race. This has allowed your kind to spread in the face of all opposition. Beware, the prophecies say that in the future the Fair will be so numerous that they will war among themselves, and a man named Blair will make an unholy alliance with evil to bring destruction upon his own kind. But for now, your quest concerns the sorcerer and his ravages upon your lives and livestock, right?
I thank you for your help.
It was nothing, King of the Fair.
Okay. As a kid, I looked for every possible place to use that little nugget about the warring of the fair race and some man named Blair, it doesn't come up. It's just lore. Nothing. It's got nothing to do. But this is something. The beast is as strange and vile as anything you've ever seen in your travels, and you've seen a thing or two. Its constant changing is hard to follow, but it's clearly a shifter of some kind. It also seems to be blocking your path into the village. Well, we can try to attack it. Much as you like to dig your way through the shifter who blocks your path, you're afraid it would be impossible. The soft texture of the beast means it would just fill in any hole you could make. It's like some gelatinous, tarry monster. It's fantastic. We can talk to it.
Why are you blocking my path? Let me by.
Only shifters may travel beyond this point. Demonstrate a shifter ability, and you may pass.
Can't you make an exception in this case?
Only shifters may travel beyond this point. Demonstrate a shifter ability, and you may pass.
Alright. I will save us some time. That's about all we can do here for now. In fact, no, we can go, yeah. Alright, and again, we've got these crazy diminished runs happening in the music all over the place. That all ties back to a particular character we will meet later. How are you enjoying this, Julian?
It's great. Yeah, digging those harp runs.
Oh yeah.
Has there ever been a live orchestration concert of this music? I would pay some money to see that.
Oh, I would love to see it. No, not to my knowledge. This game is a lot more niche than many of the other adventure games of this ilk. MicroProse, if you're familiar with the company, was not in the adventure game business at all. They weren't like a Sierra where they were, where that was kind of their bread and butter. They were known more for simulators, like Civilization, lots of flight sims, that sort of thing.
Do you know how successful this game was?
Not terribly so. That is not terribly so successful. I think it was a little too late in the game and overshadowed by a few other much bigger titles of the adventure game genre.
Yeah. It was fairly late too already. Like that was like 1994, I think, right?
Yeah.
It's me. Give me back the item I gave you.
It's him. It worked. Here you are, Your Majesty. Farewell.
All right. Simple as that.
I love that test. Like, only the real you would know the item, wink wink, that you're supposed to give me.
Oh. See, the more time we spend traveling around, the closer the sorcerer gets to breaking free. Now, since I was a child who played this game and probably spent like way too much time traveling back and forth, having no idea what the hell to do, I can tell you it never fully shatters, so you're safe. But if you don't know that, it creeps you out, because it starts to get pretty cracked. Your imagination kind of runs with it.
Oh, Lakella, the Dragonsphere is cracking further. Will he get there before the sorcerer emerges?
Call me Mother, my dear. You are married to my son, after all. It's only right.
Very well, Mother. Are we in danger, do you think?
Fear not, child. The sphere has barely begun to break. We have much time yet.
I suppose you're right. I'm being ridiculous.
Just remain calm, my dear, and leave everything to our hero.
All right, that's reassuring.
It's a valid concern.
It
the
really
sphere
is
cracking.
All right. I want to thank everyone for sticking around this far. I need to take a quick bio break, but I will toss up a video for us to all gawk at while I'm gone. And you guys have the floor. Feel free to chat and so on. And if you got to go, Julian, all good too. So let's see if I can get my Be Right Back screen up. Maybe. Possibly. Oh, we hear it now.
Oh.
All right, how's that?
Shiny. Beautiful.
I will be right back.
I love it.
Let's make it.
Oh, nice graphics.
Thanks.
A little bit of vaporwave
Right
action.
Top here.
No doubt.
So by the way, this was made with the, I wrote this with the Roland MT32.
Amazing.
And I'm trying to get it up on top, but it's not. We'll do this. No. Okay. Close enough. See you guys in a bit.
This is pretty loud. Are we taking the full break or?
Robert, do you have any experience with the Roland?
All right, I'm back. How's everybody hanging? Good?
Good.
Good. Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a second. Now I got you. Let's just turn that off. There we go. All right. We are back. And our viewing numbers have plummeted. No, they're actually pretty good. Impressive.
Quick break.
Okay. I also have some loud chips. Let's catch up on the chat. Aaron probably competing against Mist. Yeah. See, I guess I don't know what the life cycle of games was like then, like within a couple of years' time. Did they come out in the same time? When was Mist released?
I think Mist was the same year, 1994, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
That makes sense. Yeah, so that's
Mist actually might have come out first. It was September 24th, 1993.
It's very possible. What else was in '94? We've got people in the chat who can tell us, but yeah, I don't know what the life cycle of games was like then. Like if a game could dominate for a couple years, or if it was quickly yesterday's news. But I'm guessing probably a bit longer than now.
Donkey Kong Country is 1994. Doom 2.
Super
Earthbound.
Metroid.
Yeah. Earthworm Jim. Very important.
Man, I love Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim.
Such a good game. It's got a great soundtrack too.
Oh, and to answer your question, Chris, so yeah, interestingly enough, this game probably was written for the Roland Sound Canvas, which was the sort of successor to the MT32. I don't own one. I would love to get one. I've got my eye on a few auctions and things, but it's MT32 compatible, which is to say it sounds good with those sounds, but it likely was actually written for the Roland Sound Canvas, which has a lot of similar sounds, but some quite a few improvements as well. I guess it depends if you think they're improvements or just different. But yeah, good question. I'm using it on this stream here because I got one and it sounds great with this game and it's somewhat period appropriate. So yeah. But anyway, speaking of, let's see if any MIDI notes froze while I was gone. How am I running multiple patches at the same time? So it's got 32 voice polyphony, hence the name. So multi-timbre 32 voice or multi-timbral 32 voice.
32 separate voices which can be allocated to any instrument, or wait, I'm confused. Is each of the voices polyphonic or 32 individual voices?
I think I've got someone who would be the perfect call-in guest for this. So you're out of here, Julian.
Sweet. Thanks
Hey.
for having me. I'm gonna dip. Have a good
Cool.
night.
Yeah, thanks for hopping
coming.
on. See ya.
No problem. Bye.
Okay, I'll just see if we can line up our next guest. And possibly. And in the meantime, let's get back out of here. And I keep forgetting to turn the MT32s back on. Okay. All right, we got our next caller lined up. Caller, if you're listening, please jump into the Mega Hammer Discord voice channel. And you should be with us shortly. Let's go visit the Fairy
Hello,
King.
caller. What's your bid?
Caller number 2. Do you read? Are you there?
I read.
children.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hi.
All
How's it
right.
going?
Good. I had an MT32 question for you.
Yeah.
So it's a 32 voice synth, but how does that work? Is it
So-
like 32 separate voices, like each one is a monophonic voice, or is it 32 polyphonic voices?
It's 32, I think the way it was described is 32 partials. So every tone, every patch has a certain number of partials assigned to it, and there's 32 overall. So some instruments can use more than one. So in reality, it ends up being somewhere around 22 to 24 polyphony instead of outright 32.
Fascinating.
But technically, it's 32 altogether.
That's wild.
Bit of marketing gimmick, maybe, to call it the MT32.
Yeah, just kind of like selling hard drives and saying they're 1 terabyte when really they're like 850 gigabytes or something.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Like bits instead of bytes, that type. Yeah, marketing.
So how you enjoying the music so far? By the way, I should give an introduction. I'm done choking on this chip. 1 second here.
The music's great, by the way.
Isn't it? Yeah. Or Brandon, do you care to introduce yourself?
I'm Brandon Bloom. I go by the name Musically Inspired sometimes when I'm online. The rest of the time I just go by Brandon.
Sweet.
Hello, Brandon. I'm Robert.
Hi.
I think it's your first time meeting. Nice to meet you.
No.
Too.
Weren't we on
Yeah, we were
King's Quest before?
Meeting on
We're on-
voice chat is what I mean.
Right.
No, I think we were on once.
Maybe.
All the three of
Maybe
us
we were.
at one point.
Okay,
A while
maybe I'm
back
wrong.
now.
Then. Maybe I'm crazy. Okay, never mind then.
Anyway, yeah, and care to talk about a bit of your work too, Brandon? I mean, you've done some great stuff.
I guess a couple of the biggest things I'm sort of known for is the soundtracks to the Sierra fan game remakes for Space Quest 2 and King's Quest 3. King's Quest 3 I wrote pretty much 90% of the music, and Space Quest 2 I was one of 3 composers. But I'm heavily involved in the Sierra fan community, yeah, and sometimes I do fan games. I also did the soundtrack for Mage's Initiation, which was a commercial venture by the group that did the King's Quest 3 remake, Himalaya Studios. It was kind of their second commercial venture into doing games that aren't for free.
And it was very
And
cool,
those-
by the way. I thought that was fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game was super fun and fun to work on for 8 years. Took a little while.
Wow, that's awesome.
Good things come to those who wait, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
commitment.
yeah. You know, there's something to be said for, what is it? Shigeru Miyamoto said, or maybe it was Satoru Iwata from Nintendo. a delayed game is good eventually. A rushed game is bad forever. Something like that.
Yeah, that's
Very
wise.
true.
I'm just going to kickstart this next little puzzle here because this is the tedious one, and there's some great music to talk about in it too. So let's just do a little bit of dialoguing here, and then we'll resume our chat.
Dressed in a cape. If he had any more hair, he'd look like an ape.
All right, so if you recall, the wise shifter elder told us that the fairies do this to test our patience and to, I guess, sort of play psychological warfare with the humans, that is. So the best thing to do, like with any bratty child, is ignore it, and let's just talk past it.
And a good day to you, my fine fairy.
The fair fights back with biting wit. What a shame he's used all of it.
If we were to try to insult in kind, we would quickly burn out through choices here and have to start again. So let's just not.
I seek the Butterfly King. Is this the way to the forest maze?
There one comes, Fairy Francis. To get inside, you've missed your chances.
All right. And Aaron's got a drop from the chat, but thanks a lot, Aaron. Great to see you around.
Take care.
Have fun.
See ya.
All right. Well, stop talking in rhyme or I'll slice your head off would be very satisfying. How can I miss what I wasn't offered? It's not fair. Well, let's keep our cool.
Thank you. May your children be a blessing to you.
You're the least fun to tease fair one I've ever met. Go on inside. Maybe failing in the forest maze will worsen your temper.
And it will worsen our temper. And with a magical wave of their fairy hand, the boulder orb is cleared from our path. There could have been another death there, not to... no, that one we can't pass. Let's see. These ones can kill us. Alright. Let's take a second here to absorb this music because it's the one I've got called up next, and I love it.
Ooh, a hedge maze. I love hedge mazes.
Again, the tonal ambiguity is just like, it's just fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It's delightfully disorientating, I guess. All right,
I like
well,
the dynamics of the percussive notes there.
Okay, so here's the top of the loop coming up, I think, in like the next 4 bars. Here.
I love the tuned toms.
Yeah. All right, and I'm going to kill that for a second so that we can take a look at the score, because I've got, this one was a bugger to transcribe, but I kind of got it. Again, capture the essence of it, not capture the exact particulars, kind of what it's going for. And this one I need to thank Julian, who actually hopped on a chat with me once and listened through this, and we kind of bounced interpretations off each other. So it starts off with a wonderful B Mixolydian flat 6 scale. So all that mumbo jumbo basically means B Mixolydian would be like a B major scale with a flat 7. Oh, sorry. Yes, B Mixolydian flat 6. So we're going to have that scale there. Mixolydian's often used as sort of like a bluesy sort of sound. It's got that 7th in there. That sort of thing. However, if we flat the 6th degree of the scale, we end up with something a little snarkier. Somewhere in a weird territory between major and minor. The first half sounds very major. But once we pass that, suddenly very minor sounding. It's basically a hybrid of the two scales. First half major, second half minor. And the effect that is used to... Oh, hey, look who else we have here, Robert.
Hey, it's Callum. What the heck? What's he doing here? I thought he was playing Among Us like everyone else on the planet right now.
Welcome, Callum. We're talking about B Mixolydian Flat 6 and how it's used here. So let's just take a listen to this piece here and kind of hear it in action, I guess. All right, right there. Callum's off to play Among Us. Well, he stopped in to tell us about the melodic minor mode, or a mode of melodic minor, I should say, which, yeah, Mixolydian Flat 6 comes from melodic minor, which we can talk about later. But
dropping with the melodic minor nuggets.
Oh, yeah, that's where all the cool modes are.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the first half of the song is dominated by this B pedal tone. Now, we do a little shift after that, up to a C pedal. So we ended up from here and shifted up there. That in itself has sort of a mysterious quality to it. And it's a pretty seamless shift because we're going from a B tonal center to a C tonal center. So we're just up a half step. It's a fairly easy transition to make in the bass. And a lot of the language on top of it is shared between the B Mixolydian Flat 6 and the C Lydian. Here's our C Lydian sound. So really only 2 notes difference. That is to say, they share enough in common in terms of the palettes of the notes. I guess the notes that make up the palettes of these two different scales, so that we can sort of morph between the two of them and escape into a new sonic territory with very little pain or stress on the listener. You can your ear will easily accept the transition because they're very closely related. So that takes us, to the second part here. Crazy runs going up. Then we end up with this very tense and mysterious F sharp sort of sound. I guess to bring it down to maybe more of a layman's level for those who don't have a strong music theory background, we're taking collections of notes that are mysterious in and of themselves, because our ear isn't sure whether to think this is major or minor, depending on where we are, which is great for these mischievous little sprites and fairies. And we're shifting around between different shades of that sort of mysterious sound by adopting a new set of sounds that has enough in common with the previous that we can kind of bridge that gap, if that makes any sense. How am I doing, guys?
You're making it work.
Making it work. All right.
To be fair, I am the layman. So you're doing great.
Okay, sweet. And
I am also a layman for musical terminology.
You're not giving yourself enough credit.
No.
That's the thing, though.
Terminology, I don't speak it. So this is all very interesting.
You know what? And I 100% respect that. I guess strength. That combination of strengths and I don't want to say weaknesses, but because on a musician level, that's still me. I'm not thinking in terms of this stuff that I've got up on the screen about B Mixolydian Flat 6. I'm thinking about how it feels musically, but I guess because I studied it, then I can put a name to the face.
Know what it's all called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I totally appreciate that, and I don't think you need the terminology. It's just another tool. Okay. So here we are in this maze. As you can see, not much of a maze so far. It's a pretty straightforward path. but it's a logic maze, and this is the one puzzle in the game that is, in my opinion, pretty awful. Not because it's unfair, as in moon logic-y, it's grueling. It's a slog. So we need to talk to all these little sprites. You can see that they flash colors and change. Each sprite has a name, and each one can have a different color, depending on the color of that sprite. For instance, one is named Bart, one is named Ralph, Yancey, and so forth. Depending on their color, they can be yellow Bart, which says one thing, blue Bart, who says another thing, etc., etc. We need to essentially use logic to deduce who is telling the truth. And the question here is...
My name is Ralph.
Ralph.
Is it safe for me to cross?
It is not safe for you to cross now.
They're either telling a truth or a lie. So, if you go through all the options and ask them to tell you about the other sprites, they'll either tell you that so-and-so is a liar, so-and-so tells the truth when they're red, and so on. And if you chart this all out, which is a pretty stupidly big task to do in a game of this size, you can determine who at what color is telling the truth. And then you can safely cross. If you try to cross without the correct permission, when it is not safe to cross, your head is explode.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. I just want to answer Chris. So it's like a major key with a flat 6 and flat 7, then up a semitone to a major key with a sharp 4. And the F sharp at the end is kind of like a 5-1 return to B at the start. You nailed it, Chris. That's exactly what's going on. Okay.
I gotta say, now that I know what this...
Pardon?
Now that I know what this scene is about, the music complements it wonderfully.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Tell me something that you know.
Red sprites always lie.
So that is true. Red sprites always lie. So we need to find a red sprite who will tell us that it is safe to cross. That'll be a lie, meaning... Or sorry, that it is not safe to cross, sorry. That would be a lie, meaning it is safe to cross. The sprite we need to find is named Ralph. He's going to be a red little bugger, and I'm just going to have to keep clicking through here, guys. So feel free to strike up a meaningful conversation.
So you have to wait till it turns red and then click it?
Yeah, so I'm going to follow this guy.
My name is Jim.
Jim, you're
That's
a bust.
Jim.
Is it safe?
James.
It is now safe for you to cross.
So Jim's lying. All right.
Jim, you bastard.
Let's go with this guy.
My name is Rachel.
Tell me.
My brother is either Bart or Yancey.
It's like I said, it's a grueling puzzle.
My name is Ralph.
Oh, I think we got red
Hey, you found
Ralph.
Ralph. Keep your eyes on him.
Is
I
it
lost
safe
him.
For me to cross?
No, I still see him. He's...
It is not
Oh,
safe
no, the stream's
for
delayed.
you to
He's going
cross
downwards. He's
now.
going downwards.
Okay,
He's just below the hedge now.
He said it's not safe for us to cross. If
Oh.
that was red Ralph and he's saying it's not safe, I hope I got him when he was red. Oh, thank God I got him when he was red. We
That
did
was
it.
so skillful.
Oh, guys, this could have been a 20-hour stream.
Marathon stream.
That's
Okay.
the type of puzzle my dad would throw his hands up and say, I'm not playing this.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, Ralph, you bastard. And here we are in the realm of the Butterfly King.
Nice.
Let's soak in a bit of this music too.
Oh, there's a giant frog over there.
Yes.
Or is it a toad? What's the difference anyway?
Let's go see.
No, there was no armor. What was this, 92 or something?
94.
Okay, no. Well, there were BBSs, but not very many people were on those. So no
Right.
internet to look that stuff up unless you knew a friend.
All right, so here we have a toad ring.
Just hint lines, expensive hint lines.
Yeah, and honestly, there are reasons these adventure games contained infuriating puzzles. It's because it padded out the game time and it made you a mint on hint line fees.
Old school version of microtransactions.
Yep.
I didn't even know that existed. That's wild.
Oh yeah, 900 numbers. Ran up the phone.
What could go wrong? Let's take this crown in the middle. We're a king. We like crowns.
You're gonna get eaten by a bullfrog. Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Reminds me of getting eaten by the giant mushrooms in Space Quest 2.
Okay. Excuse me. Choking on my food again. So here we have, I love this little tiny butterfly down here, big butterfly up here. So he is one of the eldest of the fairies. He's their king. And I love the way his iridescent wings keep cycling through different patterns. It's wonderful. You'll see him change here. Well, let's talk to him.
And who might you be? I am Kalish, king of the fair. I didn't ask you who you were. I asked you who you might be. I might be any number of people, I suppose. Not true at all. You are clearly only one person. I am Kalish. I don't know the word Kalish. What does it mean? It's my name. So in your language, Kalish means it's my name. No. Kalish itself is a name. What does Kalish mean then? I don't know. Now I understand. You're very confusing. You think this is confusing? You should try to learn the language of the Soptus Ecliptus. In their language, one word can mean many different things.
Here we're told again.
For instance, in Soptus Ecliptus, the word shush means sand, but put the special broadening sound tra in front of it. Tra shush, and it takes on a greater meaning. Home. Put another tra shush, and it means safety. Another tra shush, and it means the will of the people. So you see, their special word tra, added to a root word, makes bigger and more grand words. That's very interesting, but I was wondering... I can see that. All right, I have a little quiz for you. I hope you were paying attention. Who might you be?
All right. We have to remember that he takes things very literally. Who might I be?
Anyone.
I might be anyone.
I gotta say the pattern on his wings right
Tell
now.
me the word Kalish means.
Go ahead.
It's gone now, but the pattern on his wings before looks like feet. There's like 5 toes and everything.
Oh, weird.
I can't unsee it now.
I know what you mean. Sometimes you're just like, nope, my brain sees that pattern. And yeah, Chris, the giant morel right here is just fantastic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did I say that the word
Something about-
Kalish meant? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Can you guys answer this one?
I don't know.
Yes. Eventually we did admit, or we gave him the impression that it's a word that means I don't know.
I don't know. If the Soptus Ecliptus word Sohan means woman, what does Tra Sohan mean?
I think we need to appeal to his sense of humor.
Trouble.
It's not home.
In your own language,
Yeah.
answer this question. What is my name?
What is
Are we starting over now?
my name?
This is a very dialogue puzzle heavy game, eh?
It is very, yeah. Oh,
Mm.
what is his name?
The Butterfly King. What will happen to you if you eat some of this mushroom? I won't like it. Very good, King of the Fair.
We did it.
You understand the very mind passing well, I'd say.
Oh, passing
Know that
well.
I understand the minds of the fair passing well myself, and I know the quest that is in thy mind and heart.
Oh yeah, you're right. They do look like feet.
Take this gift of power.
See that?
It is said that only by the 3 stones of power can Sanwi truly be defeated.
Oh, great sound.
Ooh, that was an interesting. Was that MIDI or?
That was, I think, a modified soundtrack patch.
But it's coming from the MT32. It's not a digital sound, is it?
I believe it came from the MT32, yeah.
That's really cool.
You got a Power Stone.
Yes. All right. So, a Power Stone.
I love that game.
He said that they're required to defeat the sorcerer. So, excellent. Okay. Lots of dialogue. So, I'm gonna try go through this quick. And may your children be a joy to you. Sure.
Thank you, and may your children be a joy to you. And now, I deem it is time for another quiz. Listen carefully and answer properly, for I have little time to waste. Why do fairies tease the fair? They like to test their limits. Which is the greatest race in Grand Kalahak?
Of the 500 chariots. Flattery.
The fairies. Why must Sanwi be destroyed? Because he ravages and destroys the land. Some of your answers are displeasing to me, for they show a lack of understanding of fairy lore. We will act as though this part of the conversation has never occurred. Farewell.
One more time.
I believe we don't get a second chance. Is it challenging mode?
Why do fairies tease the fair?
Maybe we do.
They like to test their limits.
That I know is true.
Which is the greatest race in Grand Kalahak?
The fair.
Why must Sanwi be destroyed? Because he ravages and destroys the land. So you are
We are
well
prejudiced
versed in our
against
lore,
them. I would have.
King of the fair.
We did
Let us
it.
speak longer, for as you know, I am the Butterfly King, ruler of Bryn Fan. You have received your gift, but you knew not that it was here before you came. Why did you come then?
Sorry, I missed what you said there, Brandon.
No, that's fine. I thought it might have been one of the other ones, but I was wrong.
I remember enough of this game every time I play it to get through, but I still make some mistakes, and I kind of like that. It's always a little fresh then.
Well, it seems like it's so complex that it adds replay value that way, because you can't possibly remember everything.
No, it certainly does. And that's I think a huge accomplishment in this particular genre. Because I think, Rob, you were asking me before, like, what is the replay value of adventure games?
Yeah.
And I think it's just being able to immerse yourself in a unique world. Even if you know what's going to happen next, just being here, I think, is cool.
Yeah.
And then
So I want to go back there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a storybook. You want to just open up and look at the pictures sometimes.
Explore all the possibilities of the different trees of dialogue, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think we can choose all of these at some point. We're no longer being tested.
I have come to seek your wisdom. What little I have of it, I will share with you. My expertise lies in magic, spells, arcane knowledge, prophecy. There is much prophecy concerning you, O King of the Fair. And what say the oracles? I know that you are ensorcelled. I detect a powerful spell about you.
We're ensorcelled?
Though I know not what it is. Whatever it is, it has affected your memory. For I warrant you don't remember being ensorcelled recently. Indeed, I do not. That is very interesting. Well, thank you, Butterfly King, and may your children be a blessing to you. And thank you, King of the Fair. Here is another gift for you. From my heart. This figurine was carved from a single limb of an ancient oak. Please accept this as my wish for good luck and a safe journey.
I would love to go through all the other options with you guys, but I think we should keep them.
I just realized that every now and then you hear this low note, and it's supposed to be the sound from the frogs over there.
Yes, wop, wop. Now, does that sound like an MD32 patch to you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And this is just a little goodie. Adds to our points, does very little else. This game is fond of that. There are a few non-essential items, which I kind of like. I mean, why not?
A little misdirection there, like IKEA furniture. Test.
Yeah. And all those little sprites have gone home. Yeah, this. Such a great little piece of music.
That marimba, or whatever that instrument is there, I remember that used a lot in another game, Ultra Destiny, I think it was.
That was just me playing around on Munt in the background here, but yeah, the great sound.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, and yet another
Very
crack.
rich sound.
It's splitting more. Why is he taking so long?
A magical quest is not quickly accomplished, my dear.
Do you think, honestly, that he has a chance to succeed?
Well, my dear, frankly, I do not.
Frankly, I don't give a damn.
That's what I was thinking.
Now, don't weep. Perhaps everything will work out for the best.
And what does that mean?
Okay. On to another kingdom. I believe we know enough of the Soptis language to get through the desert. And like I said, if I were a good adventure gamer tonight, I would have written down everything I need. But it's time to break out a walkthrough. Because I was not jotting down notes about a foreign language.
The desert.
Yes. Every good adventure game
Common
has one.
locale. Yeah, exactly. A maze, a desert. Whereas in action games, it's an underwater level. In
Right.
adventure games, it's a maze or a desert.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're the same thing.
Yeah, often they are. King's Quest V, anybody?
Oh, now this is cool.
Oh, yeah.
Parallax scrolling backgrounds in a desert. That would really disorient you. Unlike King's Quest V, which is one screen at a time.
Right.
That's really clever, actually.
I love this little
Or was
weird cactus plant here. The desert is so wide and the sun is so hot, just when you think you must surely perish here in the dry sands, and you curse the Soptis who sent you here. I mean, you went here on your own volition. I mean, he invited you, but you spy a small lean-to in the distance. A friend. Any man can cross the desert, the great desert, if he has friends. That's right, that was something the Soptis said. Looks small and rude. Do they mean crude? Rude is a weird choice. And partially buried beneath the sand, but you can see someone moving about it. Okay. We happen to have a bone already, but if you didn't grab one in the banquet hall, you could grab one here.
Will he not take a bone now, or
No.
can you get another one?
It says you already have another one. So let's talk to the Soptis man.
Greetings, man of Soptis Ecliptus. Can you help me?
Again, why I disabled the dialogue boxes, I don't know, but I've got to walk through, so fear not. Okay, I do remember some of this. He said, "Ka vinciotum tra 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 shab." So tra is the modifier that goes onto the word. Shab could mean north. It could mean moon. No, north, sun, or death. So tra, 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 shab. 3 times modified shab no longer means north, it means death. So he asked us if we are seeking death.
No.
Now he asks, are we seeking the Soptis? Vinciotum, or Vincio, means one who seeks, we learned from the shifter, is one who seeks like an astronomer, the stars and the moon. So it's a seeker. So did you seek death? No. Do you seek the Soptis, which is the name of the race? Yes.
Yes?
So he said, if we're seeking the Soptis, we were sent by Tilsham, who is the traveler in our village. He said, go follow. Basically, just keep going south. Follow is the name for south. But if we can try something here.
Perhaps we should start over again. Greetings, man of Soptis Ecliptus.
We can get an extra point. We can make him laugh if, let's see, we tell him a joke.
Vinkio Shabbalaclyptus. Trahosan. I guess that was funny, eh?
Ooh, you must be Canadian.
Yeah. He's representing us.
The Kingdom of Canada.
If you say so.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure if I ruined the set of instructions that he gave us. Like, every time he would give us different instructions, so I better just ask again.
Greetings, man.
Don't seek death. Yes, I seek the Soptis. Oh, it's the same. Popo means and, so south, 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 and south.
If you say so.
Okay, so cross to the south.
You know, it strikes me the puzzle designs in this game. It's not like LucasArts or Sierra Adventure games. It's a lot more like Riven or Myst, where you have to figure out what codes mean and then decode things.
Yeah.
Except with characters, whereas Myst doesn't really have any characters to interact with. This does, and it's all in dialogue, and I think that's really interesting.
It is, yeah. There are more inventory puzzles to come. But, sorry, say it again, Rob?
Oh, no, that was...
No, I was just saying, and I love Myst, so I like this.
And, cross to the south. I also like that the cardinal directions are consistent. And you know what I'm talking about, Brandon? Like when you go, I think, through the...
Yeah.
through the Minotaur's Lair in King's Quest VI, where depending on the camera angle, north is...
No, Mordak's Underground Cavern.
Yeah.
On the island. That's the one that changes perspective. Sorry, I hit the mic. That's the one that changes perspectives every time you turn a corner.
Right. And we could have died at this point if we followed the directions incorrectly, which is a cool death, and maybe I should have shown, but here we are headed toward the Oasis. Chris, are we playing this whole game this evening? I don't think we'll get through it fast enough, so I don't know. We'll see how we do.
That's a neat Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z.
Z, exactly.
Dragon Ball.
All right, here we are. Let's speak to the shaman.
May I speak with you?
Hi, Tilsham.
Imagine me playing this obsessively as a 8-year-old, and you'll understand a lot about me.
Hi.
Kavinkus Fastus. Jaga Kapow.
Jaga Kapow. That line sticks in my head for some reason. It's not delivered with the most convincing sense of...
Are these people Soptis too?
Yes, yeah, all these pale people are Soptis, and they have the big eyes.
This guy doesn't have the deep voice.
No, that's right, he doesn't. Let's try the joke we told the other guy. Maybe we're making an ass of ourselves, I don't know.
Maybe this joke is racist.
Yeah.
against
You're
yourself.
You're gonna tell it to the wrong person, and they're gonna lose it.
Yeah, this guy's gonna come over with his scimitar and just whoop. Okay, now we've got some interesting choices. We should probably say we were sent by Tilschmidt.
I was told by Tilschmidt to seek your Caliph.
Tilschmidt, huh? We know him. He went traveling to Grand Kalahak. There is an aura strange about you. We can sense it. Who did...
I
Oh,
apologize.
sorry. Cut that
I
off.
am King Kalish of Grand Kalahak.
Knowing to who you talk is as important as knowing what enemy you face. If I had known it was you, I would have given you this gift already.
But I had that great joke to tell you. Another Power Stone. Cosmic, if you're still in the chat there, as an artist, a visual artist, can you tell me why I like this so much? I just think the color is just fascinating, fantastic.
Looks like an egg.
Okay.
Radial gradients.
I guess that's what it is, isn't it?
I thank you. Is there anything you can tell me about it?
Only that it is a stone of power which can defeat Sanwi. The
We've got
prophecies do not
Sanwei,
say how the
Sanwi.
stones to be used, though sometimes they speak of many stones, and sometimes just one.
So we know that they're important to defeating the sorcerer.
I think I might speak to the
I guess we're
Caliph
going to speak
now.
to the Caliph.
Speak to the guard over there. It is his decision as to who shall speak with the Caliph.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
That line. You are welcome. To this day, my brother and I still say you are welcome to each other like that.
My brother and I still rhyme off Fate of Atlantis and Monkey Island quotes to each other.
State your business with my lord, the Caliph.
All right. Oh, they said flattery is the way to the Soptis heart, so...
O most puissant of warriors, this humble king of the lowly nation of Grand Kalahak begs forgiveness for the presumptuous request of a moment to glimpse the splendor and grandeur of your mighty master.
The Caliph has been made aware of your presence. Pass within, King of Kalahak.
Beauty. Yeah, a lot of dialogue puzzles. You can't proceed without getting the right conversation most of the time. Nice gradients, but can't offer much insight. Well, I appreciate it anyway. I've always thought they're beautiful.
Welcome, oh most great king of the fair. You are most welcome in my humble and dirty tent.
Enema Bag Jones says, "You are welcome." All right. Flattery. Okay. Greetings, Soptis leader. Perhaps no, it's too businesslike. Thank you for the glorious. That's gracious. Blessed be the day I found you. That's flattery. Your countryman said you desired a meeting. Again, pretty businesslike. Let's go the route of flattery.
Blessed be the day I found you, O Caliph. Great is your power. My power is as a puff of wind compared to the mighty hurricane of yourself, O king. Now, if you would grace me with the answer to the mystery of why you have deigned to enter my miserable abode, my life would be happy.
That's quite high praise, I'm guessing, from him.
I merely wished to see your magnificence. I fear I disappoint one so mighty with my meager means. Would you care for some entertainment before we discuss important business?
Again, I think the top choice here is the most flattering. I'd be overjoyed. No. And this one is okay, but not great.
It would overjoy my heart beyond all measure. Then you shall have it. I have a fair one in my employ to perform for you our dance of the swirling wind.
Ooh.
I hope you enjoy it. This woman from your own land is an intrepid explorer. She has agreed to serve me for a time in exchange for knowledge and trade goods. She is an excellent dancer.
She was backpacking Europe trying to find herself, and she ended up here. That rotoscoping is just like, oh, great animation there.
You find her beautiful?
All right, I'm gonna ask you guys on the call here, what would be the most appropriate answer?
Well, this is deeply questionable.
The soft
I'm going with the bottom one because it's safe.
But do we want to play safe with this guy?
That's a good question. Probably the sun, because they're in the desert, right?
But think a layer deeper. I guess knowing some of the language helps a bit more. I believe Soptis Ecliptus has something to do with moon worship or something.
Yeah, I saw a moon outside, just outside the tent. I noticed that.
Yeah, I
well,
noticed that.
I've eliminated 2 of them, so go ahead.
Yes, her beauty outshines the moon.
Indeed, you appreciate fine people. Although I find her eyes too small and pig-like. Beg your pardon, Majesty.
If we hadn't answered that one, we wouldn't get to see part 2 of this. But again, like, I don't know. That rotoscoping, I love it.
Thank you, Great Caliph, for the most exciting and wonderful entertainment I have ever witnessed.
I fear I have bored you with my woefully inadequate entertainment. Now we turn to something perhaps more to your interest. Let us wager over a traditional Soptis board game. For every victory you score, I will give you a gift that will aid you on your quest.
Okay.
A small Ifrit will aid us in the... You can...
I'm gonna skip him.
Yes. The adventure arcade sequence.
Now, there's a strategy to this. Basically, what he's saying is this is the lowest possible points, but highest probability, and diminishing probability, but higher reward as you go this way. I think the key to this one is either constantly bet low or constantly bet high. And you either death by 1,000 cuts or you strike out big. The middle ones don't seem to pay off. We're just gonna try it.
Very good.
There we go.
As long as you are successful, you keep going. Choose again. Oh, I am sorry. Your turn.
The gains we make, I think, are usually worth it.
It is my turn now. I have done it.
Oh, right.
Go again.
If you bet low and you get anything higher, you get points. If you bet high and get anything lower, you don't. So this is exclusively purple. You must get purple in order to get points here. I think I'll just maybe bet low.
Very good. As long as you are very good.
As long as you are very good. Oh yeah. And that's the only time you don't get it right. The only time you don't get points on red is if you get purple. So you have some way to fail.
I have done it. I go again. By the rising sun, I have failed. You have. I am so happy.
Oh, we won. 16 is the winning number. Yeah. So I think you bet big once or twice, and then you just ramp it up with the little ones. Okay, we can win 3 prizes, so let's just get it over with.
I would love to play another.
Okay. Notice anything about that voice?
And we will play again.
That was not the king's voice.
Yeah.
Somebody
They're trading out.
Yeah, somebody screwed up royally with the dialogue here. That voice plays an important part later. Not the king's voice though. And oh, Chris, sorry I missed that. The moon. You said yeah. You're right. Okay, I'm gonna bet high, but not too high.
The king's portrait here is funny. He's looks like a bit of a mild-mannered Clark Kent.
Like a what now?
Mild-mannered Clark Kent.
Oh, I am sorry. Your turn ends when you predict incorrectly.
Yes, you don't need to tell me that.
Rising sun.
By the rising sun.
You're very good. Very good. As long as you are. Oh, I am.
As long as you were very good. I love that.
When you predict incorrectly. I have done it. I go again. I have done it. I go again. By the rising.
Should I bet big, guys, or go small or medium?
Your turn now.
Go big or go home.
Oh, I am
Ugh.
sorry. Your turn
Last time I
ends
take your
when you
advice.
predict incorrectly. It is my turn now.
Why I took my advice? I know nothing about this game.
By the rising sun, I have
That's your
very
judgment
good.
error, not mine.
As long very good. As long very good. As long very good. As oh, I am sorry. Your turn ends.
You were
when
supposed to make a rap out of that.
I have
You're a
done it.
gambler.
I go again.
He's betting big.
By the
Oh,
rising
that's
sun,
right.
I
And if
have
you bet big
failed.
and fail,
Your
your
turn
opponent gets
now.
points.
Yep.
Very good. As long as you are successful. Oh, I am sorry. Your turn ends when you predict incorrectly. I have done it. I go again. I have
Oh
done
no.
it. I go
It's
again.
closing the gap.
By the rising
We don't need
sun,
much.
I have been very good. As long as you have
There
done
we
it.
go.
Congratulations, you have won.
Nice.
Just one more time.
I am so
A note on the
happy for
music.
you.
There's not
I
much going
think
on
you
here.
have won enough victories for a prize. Wouldn't you like to play a game?
This is definitely one place where the cliches leaned into a little. You know, very Middle Eastern-y.
Yeah.
That sort of thing going on. Still nice, subtle enough that it's not overbearing
I
though.
would love to play. How grand! The Afrit will refill the bag for us, and we will play again. Oh, I am sorry. Your turn ends when you predict incorrectly. I have done it. I go again. By the rising sun, I have been. Oh, I am sorry. Your turn ends when you.
It's gotta pay off sometime.
I have done it. I go
Too
again.
little, too late though.
By the rising sun, I have failed. Very good. As long as you are very good. As long as very good. As long as. Oh, I am sorry.
Oh, come
It's
on.
not too late.
When you predict
What's that?
incorrectly. It is, I
I was gonna say it's not too late. You still got this. You have a chance.
This guy
Yeah.
really feels and expresses every emotion he has to
Yep.
the extreme, doesn't he?
By the rising
Okay, is it time for a big bet or do I play it safe?
Your turn now.
Maybe we could try like green.
Oh, I am
No
sorry.
comment.
Your
Ah.
turn ends when you predict incorrectly. It is my. By the rising sun, I have failed. Your
You're
turn
not doing
now.
too well
You
this
have
game.
done it.
Haha.
Congratulations, you have won.
Good. That needed to end soon.
Oh wow, never mind.
I think you have won enough victories for a prize. Wouldn't you like to play a game?
No, because I've played before and I know you don't have anything else to give me.
I would like. Oh, how
See, that is not the
glad
king's
I am.
voice.
You play well. Perhaps sometime you'll return for more.
There may be a deep explanation
your
for that.
victories,
We'll get to
I
it later.
promised you prizes. I have many trinkets and things for your amusement. Then we will speak about the sorcerer.
Take the dancing girl. I'm done with her. These. I always thought these looked so delicious. Maybe they look disgusting.
Really?
They look a little
Yeah,
moldy.
it looks like moldy eggs or something.
This must be my color blindness coming in to bite me in the ass.
Oh
To me, I thought this is like some honey drizzled dates swirled with.
Oh, I see. I see it the other way around. I see it like some beige colored things with like green mold on it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Let's see what else we got.
Your way looks tastier for sure.
Yeah. Nice statue, I guess. Seems to think this statue is beautiful and meaningful, but he looks like a heavy lump of cheap grade gold with a bad disposition. What else? Ooh, this is a nice little ring. All right. How you feeling, everybody in the chat, on the call? How much further you want to push this? It's only 10. We're not burning the midnight oil or anything.
I'm good
We
for
go a
another
little
bit.
longer.
All right.
Yeah,
I thank you
that
gratefully for whatever help you can give. I will tell you what I know. I only wish it were more. The shaman have foreseen a mighty confrontation between you and the sorcerer. They had a gift for you that might aid in this meeting, but their true value may come later. if you can convince them to take you to the spirit plane.
Ooh.
This is all I know.
I thank you for all that you have done, but now I must take my leave.
I understand. Return someday, O great king, and we will game again.
That's okay. Although this is a beautiful set.
That flute patch that's playing right now, how do you pronounce the name of it?
The flute.
Starts with SH.
Yeah, a shaku something, right?
Yeah, that thing.
Let's see.
I can't find it on the...
I'm gonna look through my patches here. Like, shakuhachi?
There we go.
Shakuhachi flute. That's a classic.
Shakuhachi, okay. Well, you make it sound simpler than I was imagining it.
That is great sound, though. And definitely...
Gotta get a real one. Those things are so cool.
I've seen a guy in a jazz combo playing one, and I thought that was pretty wild.
There was this controversy at E3 a few years ago. I think it was either Microsoft or Sony. No, I think it was Sony for when they announced Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Tsushima, yeah.
Yeah, they had a shakuhachi flute player on stage, and they got a ton of flack for it, saying it was cultural appropriation. But it turns out the guy they hired, despite the fact that he was a white guy, he studied like years and years and years in Japan.
Yeah, he
learning
was
how to play
actually super professional with it.
Yeah, and it was a little embarrassing.
Misplaced outrage.
Absolutely.
All right. Thankfully, we do not have to uncross the desert. We just go back.
That was easy.
Yeah. Oh, this would be a good time to demonstrate what our ring is all about. Invoke. And here we are. Back at the courtyard.
Feel a strange pulling sensation.
Yeah. Alexander. All right, add another crack. What's the difference at this point?
First, any moment.
Oh, don't be so dramatic.
Lost.
Calm yourself. It is no more than we expected.
I know, but I was hoping.
I know, but take heart. Before he vanished, Nurtom said that the sorcerer would emerge when the Dragonsphere had burst apart, and that is not even close to happening, as you can see.
Then there is more time?
Yes. Now go to the courtyard and play at javelins, my dear. It will calm your nerves.
Ah, yes, playing at javelins, my favorite pastime. Throwing a spear around. Okay, we are ready to walk to.
When I played this game, I went here first. That was interesting.
Not much to do here at first. Though I guess you could. Ah, love this.
Is this the last area to go to then?
Yeah, I mean, you could accomplish some things here, but nothing of consequence, really.
Stuck his arms through the barrier.
Sort of through... Yeah, I love that the shield spell is weakening.
You got in.
All right. Does this look like an old hermit to anybody else?
Where?
In the rock here. Like his head,
Vaguely?
arm. He's wearing like a cloak. There's his legs. There's another arm just missing a hand. I don't know.
Yeah, vaguely.
All right, but there is somebody lurking here.
No, I don't see it.
Great call.
I like that too. Your name is Kalish. The kingdom is Kalahak, and I guess their deity is Kal. So
it's Great Cal, not Great Call.
Great Kal. Well, let's talk to the person hiding here. Yeah, sexy voice acting, eh? All right.
Who goes
Violet.
Frightened of a mere woman, King Kalish. I am Lady DeSummers, Duchess of the DeSummers Estate. My father
yeah, I
sits
remember
on your
her.
council.
All right. Let's listen to the music here for a second. Again, that over under from the main theme. This time, different key, but yeah, same intervallic sort of pattern. Just it ties it all together, which is great. Okay, I lost my train of thought. You're not needed here. Urgent wish to meet me. How flattering. Okay, well, we're not going to be a Casanova. A bit far from home.
A bit far from home, aren't you, my Lady DeSummers?
Aye, but when I heard of your quest, and that they had allowed you to go alone, I had to find you. I offer you a gift for luck, my king, and the service of my sword to aid you in your quest.
Well, we can be a womanizer, we can be misogynistic, or we can be a normal guy, so let's be a normal guy.
I appreciate your loyalty.
I guess womanizer and misogynistic, kind of same thing.
No, my king. It's noble of you to endanger none but yourself. But I swear that two are always better than one.
I think it's a shapeshifter.
You think it's a shapeshifter?
I don't know.
You mentioned a
I never
gift.
thought that.
I will accept it. I'm honor bound to reject your aid, though I'll take your gift. We should say we're touched, but we can't let you put yourself in danger. This is our quest.
My heart is
Get your own.
touched by your concern, Duchess, but I must say no.
Very well, Lord. This amulet I wear is a charm, passed down through the DeSummers family for generations. It is said to have mystical powers, but it is mostly a good luck charm. The powers are useless.
Why is that?
The mad mage who made this amulet said that its true powers could only be used after the wearer had been pronounced dead. Any such power is rather useless to the wearer, don't you think? To my knowledge, it has never been invoked. But wear it for luck anyway.
Interesting. Unprepossessing. Plain gold and not very valuable gem set in the middle. Shows no sign of being magical. It's clearly the thought that counts. Alright, well, nice enough gesture anyway. Thought that counts. I think we can be a bit of a sweetheart here.
In darkness, its beauty will remind me of your own. Goodbye, lady.
Goodbye, my lord, and may the gods watch over you in your quest. Perhaps someday we shall meet again. Farewell.
That could have gone a little bit better. She could have given us a little kiss on the cheek. But then again, the dialogue in the challenging mode is it's great how many options you have. But yeah, you can certainly miss out on. I guess that's part of the charm.
Wait, you say challenging mode? This game has difficulties?
Yeah, there's novice and then there's challenging. So novice basically pares down the dialogue options. I don't think there are any extra puzzles to solve. But you have
that's a clever way of doing it.
Yeah, you just have a less rich experience.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, let's keep going here.
Music is really interesting. It's not really melodic, like has memorable themes, but it's not ambient either. What would you call it? It's like just repeating patterns or motifs, is that the word?
It's very thematic, and I think it sets here, let's get away from this loud waterfall for a second. I think it does a great job at developing a vocabulary for the game. But you're right, it's not melodic in like a traditional sense.
Something you can hum like a full like the Space Quest theme or something.
Right.
But it's not totally background either. It just catches your attention enough to stick out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful color cycling waterfall there.
Yeah, isn't it? Okay, rock
I was wondering if
trees.
this game was going to have any of that. I'm happy to see it does.
Now, I was going to make a note about the music. Another thing I really appreciate from this game is just that, and this is not to knock, I'm going to use King's Quest as an example. Space Quest could work too. It's not to knock King's Quest at all, but King's Quest is very catchy, melodic material, right? They are, I think it leans in a little bit more to genre, a little bit more to stereotype. You know, when it's fairy-like, it sounds fairy-like. When it's royalty, regal, it sounds very regal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Even to the point of using like folk tunes kind of sometimes, like using green sleeves or whatever. This game does none of that, which I highly respect. It could have gone the route of, you know, having every stately theme sound like something from a Renaissance fair. Not to say that's exactly what King's Quest does, but, you know, to an extreme, we could, you know, do that. But this goes the opposite extreme. It kind of reinvents, and it almost creates like a parallel universe in a way. Like, this is not medieval music as I know it, you know? It's not orchestral music as I know it. It's got like some synthy elements in there too.
It's more on the technical side of it.
It certainly is more technical, yeah. The composer, MicroProse, I emailed him way back when I was like a teenager or something, and I actually got a response from him. And he told me about his path to becoming a composer, and he was in a prog rock band before, so that
awesome
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you guys think? Is this going to be a two-parter, or are we going to do it all tonight? Robert, what do you think?
I could call it.
We're at a solid halfway right now, I think.
That's quite a bit left.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let's finish up a little bit more here. And then we'll definitely, I think, maybe next Friday. Yeah, it is sweet that I got an email response from him, Chris. It made my year. I thought that was so cool. Anyway, okay. Any thoughts, guys? We're standing in a cave in the Sorcerer's Realm with this shifty-looking guy.
He looks a little greasy.
Now, this part of the game I remember because I went here first and I explored a bit.
Yeah.
Hello.
Who are you?
I can't remember everything.
I don't think I have a name anymore, young fellow. I don't know. I'm just a hermit living alone in these parts by myself.
Something weird about him, though.
Certainly.
How did you get here?
One day I woke up and took a walk outside, and there was a wall around the mountain. I couldn't go anywhere else, so here I stayed.
Could it be the Sorcerer?
I've been here a long, long time.
You've been here 20 years, old man.
20? What's that? 20 years, huh? Imagine that. Imagine that.
He is being a little sly, isn't he?
I like how they put atmosphere respective effects on the voices depending on their location.
Good call,
like,
yeah.
They're in a cave and it's all echoey, and then just outside the echo was different when he was talking to that girl.
Very, very true. I think there were one or two places where they kind of botched it a bit. Where you're like, why? I'm not in a cave right now, but yeah, no. In general, I think they did a great job.
You look familiar.
The effort, at least, is.
Have I seen you before?
Here in this cave is the first time you and I have ever spoken to one another. I'm sure of it.
What are you doing here?
Just living, meditating, studying my books, learning secrets. I sleep more these days than I used
books.
to. I watch the birds.
Yeah, where are your books?
Fall and the smoke from the tower.
Are you a monk?
Oh no, not me, not a monk. I serve no deity here. I simply hide.
Okay.
From what do you hide?
Hey, what's that? Hide? You want to hide just like me from the sorcerer, right? We can both hide from the sorcerer and talk the years away.
What sort of secrets do you know?
I know many things. I know that soap is made by mixing ashes with oil or fat. The lye in the ash breaks down the oils in the fat and on your hands and thus cleans them. I know that acid is made by burning sulfur and saltpeter surrounded by water vapor. The vitriol from the chemical mix enters the water vapor to make liquid acid. I know that a frog's muscles jump near electricity. If you hang a frog's leg on a hook and leave it out in a storm, it will move when lightning strikes nearby.
Oh, that's very interesting.
He's a time-traveling scientist from the future.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that actually. Laughing at Enema Big Jones. Are you a monk? No. I'm not celibate.
What
Are you sure?
Tell me about the tower.
The tower, eh? Why do you want to know about that?
Okay, let's exhaust our dialogue with this guy, and then I think we'll wrap it up.
Just curious. It's very unusual.
Well, my advice is stay away. There is nothing to be gained by going there. We are all doomed anyway.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, let's tell him that we actually do need to go
I
there.
have a score to settle with the sorcerer.
Do you now? Brave lad to face so powerful a mage. I tell you, Sonny, unless you have the power stones, you might as well turn back now. Oh, and come see me when you finish the evil one. I might have a reward for you. You'd better go now. No sense wasting time with an old man.
First, you should tell me about these power stones.
What can you tell me about the power stones?
There are prophecies about them and about Sandweed. The stones were created generations ago as a defense against the sorcerer, but his agents stole them and scattered them about the kingdom before they could be used. 2 are in the possession of the kings of the various realms.
We got those.
The location of the 3rd is unknown.
So there are 3. We got one from the Butterfly King. We got one from the Soptis. We got a Polystone from the other guy, but not a Power Stone. So we've gone to all of the realms, and we only have 2.
How do
So
I
it's
use
gotta
the
be
stones
here.
to defeat the sorcerer?
No one knows. Some say you must have all 3. Others say it only takes 1 stone to defeat him. I don't know why the stories conflict. It doesn't matter anyway.
This guy's
We are all
depressed.
doomed. Go away.
He's saying some say this. How do you know? You've been in here for 20 years by yourself.
True. Although, your thing about him being
Maybe.
a time-traveling scientist...
Yeah, okay.
it was interesting. Okay. This is about where we should probably leave it off. But, I just want to say, the sorcerer in question in this game is a really, really cool take on the evil wizard trope. Because as we get closer to that portion of the game where we actually have to confront the sorcerer, we will learn that he is definitely evil, but almost more like an alchemist or an occultist. Not so much like some evil wizard, but like a
like a fantasy style wizard.
Yeah, exactly. I almost feel like a bit of sympathy, like he's misunderstood or something. But he's definitely evil. Certainly is. There's almost something like extra-dimensional about him, or interdimensional. Like he's got some sort of knowledge that comes from beyond. We'll climb up this mountain face.
In kind of a way that if this turned into a series, it would probably expound on that.
I would love that. I would hope they would, because I think there's a ton of material there.
Interesting.
All right, and I think here's a good place to save it. So
This
maybe...
guy looks. Now that I see him right now, he looks a lot like the hero from Quest for Glory.
Yeah, he does.
Just not blonde.
Yeah.
The red cape and the brown vest and similar.
There we go. All right. I'm going to enable portraits for the next half of this stream.
Cool.
But hey, this was fun, guys. This is like our first Mega Hammer Let's Play kind of thing, and
this is really interesting. This game.
It is fascinating. Hey, glad you enjoyed it, Cosmic. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Maybe we can get you on here as a guest caller. Just let me know. But yeah, there's still a ton of ground to cover with our actual score study, so we haven't exhausted all those options yet, which is great. But like I said, this stuff is all thematic, so in a way we've kind of heard everything there is, but not in its essential form. You know, it'll appear later as a focal point, but we've heard hints of it woven throughout everything from the intro music to now. So I guess that's the takeaway. I love the music of this game. Robert, this is your first time going this far into it. What do you think?
It's wild. Like, the detail in the puzzles kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like all these crazy text-based puzzles are like, I could just see myself as a kid getting so incredibly frustrated playing this game, just having no idea how to progress. But it's great. I think it's so cool.
Well, you can attest to this, Robert, from working with me, that sometimes I have a bizarre level of patience and an ability to just smack things with a hammer until it works, instead of stopping and trying to figure out why.
Well, that's actually something I was thinking about earlier, was like, how successful would you be trying to brute force a game like this?
Well, that's a good question for Enema Beg Jones, who I hope we can get on here next time. If you haven't figured out by now, that's my brother in the chat, and older brother, and he's the reason I played this game at all. I think we passed it as kids, and him being older than me, I guess, was probably knew what he's doing way more than I did, I think. But there was an element of brute force, especially because we didn't have all of the feelies that came with the original package of the game that got you past a copy protect puzzle. So there was an element of brute force, yeah. But anyway, here we are.
Cool.
Cool. And how about you, Brandon? What are you thinking so far?
Yeah, it's not at all what I assumed it was. Like way back when I played this, when I was a lot younger and tried it out and didn't get very far.
Right.
That now that I know what kind of game it is and what it's going for, like I said, I kind of recognize it more like in the Miss Riven style of puzzle design, more so than like Sierra or LucasArts games.
That's very
I know
cool.
how to tackle it now.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so
Right.
Be kind of interested to play it myself again sometime.
Absolutely. Well, I hope we didn't spoil too much. There's still a lot to go.
No.
And we haven't hit the pivotal plot. I'm not going to say what it is, but there's a pivotal moment in the plot. We have not hit that yet. So
Yeah, it feels like it's been acting straightforward this whole time, but I sense there's something coming that's going to twist it.
Yeah, there has to be, and there is. But anyway, guys, I think we should sign off. Yeah, Chris, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope we connected the theory to the feels. That's kind of my whole thing, is that I love to explain things on the theoretical level, but I want to give the impression of why I think it works in a feeling on an emotional level. So I'm glad you got some of that. Cool. All right.
It's very subtle in how it works, the music.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is a very subtly done soundtrack in a lot of ways. Cool. Well,
awesome.
Let's make sure I saved. Yes, I did. Sweet, guys. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And
Thank you.
think we'll see you next week, hopefully. We'll find a time that works.
Have a good night.
Have a good night,
See you
everybody.
later.
Take care.